Hello, fourth grade. How are you? Studio B here. Today is May the 4th, but I am giving you this video for May 11th. Okay? So a week from now, be May 11th, and you'll be watching Module 3, Lessons 1 and 2. Okay? Today is line plots. All right? And I'm going to go through a couple of them. All right? And it's not too bad. It's actually kind of fun. So let's get started. So if you want to pause this and grab your student book 236, I'm going to go over kind of that chart, what's going on. So grab 236. Now what you'll see is this big chart on kids jumping in a pool and when they get out of the pool, and we are graphing basically how much time each child spends in the pool, and we're going to do like this could be a huge gym class, like in high school that jumps in a pool and they stay in for a certain amount of time, and we're going to graph that time. Okay, so what I wanted to show on this, because they did half of the chart for you, and the other half, they left the amount of hours off, okay? So it's going to be in hours, but some of these are going to be in fractions of an hour, and some are going to be mixed numbers in an hour, okay? So if you come down here, I got these flip-flop, but that's okay. I'm going to look at George first. Now, Tamara and Ben, totally easy, 2:10 to 3:10, 1 hour. And Ben, 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, 2 hours. Boom, those are easy. Those are the easy ones. But let's look down here at George. George jumped in at 2:10, came out at 3:25. Now I know some of you, Caleb and a few other people, you're like, I can do it in my head. That's fine. If you can do it in your head, you go right ahead. So what I did is made a little graph here. Doesn't take much to draw it. I have the beginning jump in at 2:10, and I have climbing out of the pool at 3:25. And all I do is these little jumps, because sometimes you can get confused going from 1 hour to the next. You can get confused. So my first jump is 1 hour and I go to 3:10. Okay, so George is in the pool for 1 hour, but then I got to get to 3:25. Well, that's only 15 more minutes. Okay, so what do I put in here? 1.15? No, or George right here. Nope. Remember, we're talking a clock with a face. 15 minutes, as you remember way back, is 1/4 of an hour. Okay, so we got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then a full hour's 4/4. So keep that in mind as you're doing the rest of these times. Okay. So George went an extra 15 minutes. So he did 1 hour and an extra 15 minutes, which is 1/4 of an hour. Okay? Now, let's go back up to Tristan. All right? Tristan was in the pool right after 4 o'clock, and he came out before 5 o'clock. So he didn't even make it an hour. Okay? So I Tristan jumped in the pool at 4:05. And then if you want to do steps, I went to 4:30. You know, that's a good place to stop. Well, that's 25 minutes. From 4:05 to 4:30 is 25 minutes. Now we only have 20 more minutes to add. There's the extra 20. Well, when you add 25 and 20, you get 45 minutes. Okay? Well, remember, going back up here to our face clock, okay, 45 minutes now goes all the way to here, okay? So that's going to be 3 out of 4. But he didn't even do 1 hour, so it's not 1 3/4. It's just 3/4 of an hour, okay? So when you get to that line plot, you are going to put X's in for those plots, and I'll show you in a second how that works. It's actually kind of fun, and you're going to line plot all this data. Okay? So, Mr. Bauer, how do you line plot? Okay? Well, let's go to the next one. So I made up this line plot for you, just thought of it, and we've got, let's go back to reading month. Okay, the last time we were in school, we were reading a lot of books. So here's a line, okay, and I've got kids that read 1 book in March, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books, 5 books, 6 books, okay? And up here is the number of students that read that amount of books, okay? So you can see right here in the middle, like from 2 to 5, that's where most of the kids read, or even if you think 3, 4, and 5 books, that's like a lot of books read, okay? So this is a line plot. So we got 2 kids at 1, 3 kids read 2 books, which is a total of 6 books. Keep that in mind too. And here's 3 kids read 3 books each, okay? And so forth. So those X's are students, and this tells you how many books they read for the month. And it's called a line plot. Now, they're going to ask you some questions using these words down here. So the minimum is the least amount of books read. And this goes for other line plots too. Minimum means least amount, okay? The smallest amount, the shortest amount, whatever you're talking about. Maximum is the most, okay? So we got minimum books read here, we got maximum books read here, okay? Now the range, they're going to ask you, that's the range of this line plot is the greatest amount of books minus the least, okay? So 6 minus 1, okay? Is the range, so 5. The mode is really cool, it's just the most popular, okay? So 4 is the biggest amount of books read by the most amount of students. That's the mode, it's the most common one. It has the most X's. That's the mode. Now the median is, this one's gonna take a little bit, okay? So I put down here the middle X. The middle X. So what I'm doing here is, I saved this for last because I'm going to mess up my line plot. So you count in the same until you get to the last X. Okay, median is 4. See? We got to the last X. 4 is the median, okay? It means the middle, all right? So, that's what you're going to do mostly today. You've got student book line plots. There's a line plot in Home Connections on 123. You got line plots to do, and they're going to ask you some of those questions. No big deal, okay? Now, what I did want to remind you, in Home Connections, page 124, number 6, it says 216 divided by 6. And it asks you to do a ratio table or an area model, okay? Or an array, or same thing. But I know most of you are like, Mr. Bauer, we can do the algorithm. Sure, but they want you to try one of these. Okay, just as a reminder then, I guess I did the exact one. I should have done a different one. That's okay. So here's the
bonus for today, Mr. Bauer.
Bonus number 6, okay. So here's the ratio table. So it's a times 6 ratio table until your products get up to 216, because you're trying to get to 216. Well, look what happened here. I did 30 times 6 is 180. And right now my brain is like, whoa, I'm only 36 away from hitting 216. So I'm like, how do I get 36 from 6? 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Now, with these two added together, this is not your answer. You have to go up here to your factors. okay? Remember dividend, okay? Quotient. So this is your quotient. Your 30 plus 6 is 36, okay? So you use a ratio table to find your quotient. You can also use an array or area model. So you got 6 on this side, and these have to end up being 216. And then up here is your answer, okay? So once again, I did 30 times 6 to get close to 216. Then from here I know, well, I'm only 36 away, so that's an extra 6 times 6. And then I circled them because 30 plus 6 is your answer, not these. This is your dividend, because these come together to form 216. That's your dividend. So we got divisor, dividend, quotient, okay? And you're trying to find the quotient here, which is the answers that I circled. Now, total, you can see here, you got student book 236 to 240, which is mostly line plots, okay? You also have home connections 123, which is mostly a line plot. And then 124 is kind of a review. And 124 has this number 6 on it, okay? So, that's it for Monday, May 11th, okay? When we come back Wednesday, I'm going to finish Module 3, okay? So 2 weeks from today, because I'm talking to you from May 4th, 2 weeks from today, we're going to begin Module 4, okay? So enjoy. I'll probably see you soon on the internet with Dr. Couture. So that's it for today. Have a great day. And this is Studio B signing off. Bye.